All right, this is just a quick tutorial for people who have a WordPress website and blog, and just, they already have the blog set up. They just need to know how to maintain it, how to write things on the blog. So I have an account here with a customer. They have a website that sells domain names. They also have a blog that they want to start using. And let's say they've never blogged before and they want to know how to do it. This is kind of what this video is here to address. So you'll log into your website. I'm not going to show you the login process, but basically you type in /login at the end of your domain name, and then you'll put in your username and password. It's pretty standard stuff. But what I will show you is once you get in, you'll be presented with a dashboard. Honestly, I ignore everything right here. It's not that necessary. Everything you need is right here on the left-hand side. So if you're going to blog, you want to go to posts right here. If I click on this, you'll see that there are a couple of posts here. These are actually all fake ones that we did just for the sake of explaining how it works. But if you just barely started a blog, you'll notice you have a Hello World article. If I click on it, it's very, very basic. It just says Hello World, and it says on WordPress, this is your first post, edit or delete it, then start writing. If I want to see the front end, I click on View Post. Let me do that again for you. If I click on Edit Post up here in the black bar, I can edit the posts I'm looking at, and it'll take me back to what I call the back end of your website. This is what I consider the back end. If you click on View Post, this is the front end of your website. Let's say you want to just write. It's really honestly very straightforward. You just type in this box, you can start typing saying whatever you want. This is my first blog post. And then if I want to save what I've done, I just need to click Update over here on the right, this blue button right here. If I click on that, it'll save it. And then if I want to preview it, again, I can just go back up to this black bar and click on View Post. There it is. It says this is my first blog post. And that's the real basics of writing. Let me show you a few more techniques that'll take you a little further. When writing blogs, it's really important not to just write really long paragraphs. It's important to break things up with headers. So for example, I might say the history of WordPress. And then I can go up here, as long as the cursor is anywhere here, I can just go up here and click on an H2 tag, for example, a heading 2, and it will make it a nice subheading for me. If I hit enter, I can make another one just as easily, like the future of blogging. And I go here to heading 2, make another one. And of course, you can make bullet lists like here, and you can left and right align things. You can bold, italicize. Things like that are all very basic. Now let me show you something even more important here is the toolbar toggle. So this is a little bit less obvious, but there's some extra tools that exist, like strike throughs. If you wanted to strike something out, it'd be like second. You can change colors if you so choose. I can make this red, like that. By the way, I do recommend being very, very sparing when you're using colors in your text. Most of the time, just don't, unless you have a good reason. But it is there, and you can do it when needed. If I want to get rid of all this formatting, I can highlight this and click this little clear formatting icon, and that took all of that out. You can also italic or indent things like so. If I wanted to make a link to another website, I could just highlight this word and go up here to insert link. And then I can link this to whatever I want. I could link it to one of my other pages, like domain names for sale. And if I start typing something in, I'll get a list of pages that match that. I can just click on it and it will put the link in right for me. And then I just click the blue apply button. Done. And now it will link to the home page or the domains for sale page. Now, if I want to save all this again, I could just hit update on the right. And that's really pretty much all there is to it, except for two things: adding images and adding featured images. You can add an image right in your post anywhere you want. Like let's say I just want to add this little graphic here. I can just stick it in there like so. And I can even right align it so that text flows around it like so. If I want to move it around, I can drag it. You'll see the little cursor where it's being stuck. And again, I can maybe right align it so the text sort of flows around the image. So that's adding images to your website. I'm going to view the post again just so you can kind of preview and see what that looks like. And then finally, we can add a featured image. If I go to set featured image right here, I can add a featured image to my post. And this is the one that would show up like when you see a list of blog posts. Let me show you what I mean. So if I click on view post, you'll see there's a banner here at the top with this graphic. We have our graphic here. And if I go to blog, I'll see a list of all of my blog posts and their featured image will be shown above it like so. So that's just kind of the basics of blogging. For most of you, that will be all you need to do. You can stop the video now. I'm going to show one more thing for the sake of this particular customer. In his case, we have some custom post types that I've set up for him. They're called domain names. So if you go to domain names right here, click on all domain names, you'll see he has a long list of domain names for sale. If he wants to edit one of them, he can click on it. And he can either change the name, he can change the category that it's in, and he can change the price and whether or not it has been sold. And if he wants, he can even just view the domain name by itself right here. It has its own little mini page. It also shows up on his domain names for sale. He's got some categories. In fact, he has every category here. If you click here, you can see all of them. And he has all of his categories down here. A little shortcut I can show you, if you don't want to find it in the back end, you could also go here and click on it, and then just click on Edit Domain Name. And then we could either change the price, set its status, hit Update when we want to make changes, and that's it. So it's really, honestly, pretty straightforward. Blogging on WordPress, the mechanical parts are not hard, but sometimes people need a little bit of orientation, and that's great. So that's what this video is for. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, if it was helpful, give us a like. Thanks.